You are about to hear something that can change your way of learning English forever. So take a deep breath and prepare. Today's Impact episode is starting. But before we dive deep into the content, I want to tell you something that maybe no one has said so clearly so far. Fluency is not a gift, it is a construction. And yes, I know how you feel. You may have tried everything: apps, classes, books, even videos like this. And yet, you feel you can't break that invisible wall that separates understanding a little from talking safely. It seems that something always is missing, right? I understand, because learning English goes far beyond decorating rules. It's about feeling confident, capable, ready to express yourself. It's about being able to watch a movie without subtitles, understand that Taylor Swift song without running to Google Translator, or even chatting with an American in a New York cafeteria without locking. This is what you want, and you deserve to get there. But there is a key, a powerful secret that can accelerate its fluency in a natural way: the practice of daily hearing. Yes, listening to English frequently and intent is how to tune your ear to a new universe. It is like teaching your brain to recognize patterns, rhythms, sounds, how a child does when he learns to speak his own language. So stay with me until the end of this video, because in the next few minutes, you'll find out why listening is the first step to breaking the fluency barrier and how to turn it into a true game turnover for your English journey. Imagine a girl named Emily. She grew up in a small town inside Texas. Since childhood, she dreamed of traveling around the world, meeting new cultures, making friends in other countries. And of course, she knew that learning English was the bridge for all this. She tried traditional courses, watched videos on YouTube, bought grammar books, but whenever she needed to talk, crashed. The words were there, in the head, but they didn't go naturally. It was as if he had an invisible wall between what she knew and what she could say. And do you know what changed her life? A simple but powerful advice. Stop trying to understand each word. Begin to listen to English as one listening to music. That's it. Emily started listening to podcasts every day, even without understanding everything at first. She heard in the car, washing the dishes before bed. Instead of worried about translating everything, she let the sound of English to ears like a melody. And gradually, the impossible began to happen. She began to understand entire phrases, recognized expressions. And one day, during a trip to Chicago, she ordered a coffee in English, smiled and noticed, was not afraid. You didn't have to think too much. The words simply flowed. Now think to me, how long do you spend listening to English a day? And when you hear, are you really present, focused, repeating, absorbing like a sponge? Fluency is not born of the isolated effort to study vocabulary lists. It is born of continuous exposure. The brain learns by repetition, by context, by emotional association. Therefore, hearing is the most natural foundation of true fluency. Let's imagine another scenario. A boy named Josh from Los Angeles. He grew up listening to English, of course, but he decided to learn Spanish on his own. He tried formal methods and nothing worked until a Colombian friend said, Josh begins to listen to Latin songs, soap operas, podcasts, only here, even if he doesn't understand anything. Josh did this for 3 months. No pressure. I just listened. And one day she realized that she already knew when someone was saying tired or tengo hambre. He felt the language. He knew what was right, even without understanding why. This is the power of natural hearing. Now come back to you. If you listen to English every day for 15 minutes, not only listen, but really listen, paying attention to the sound of words, intonation, pauses, emotions, you will start to realize something magical. The sentences will look familiar. The sounds will stop looking strange. And when you talk, fear will decrease, because your brain will have reference. There will be hearing memory. And here comes an essential point. Don't be afraid to look silly. A lot of people crash in English because they are ashamed. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of being judged. But let me tell you a secret of the great polyglots of the world. They make mistakes all the time. But they keep talking. They listen, repeat, test, fail, and learn. It has a technique called shadowing, which is when you hear an English phrase and try to repeat immediately as if it were an echo. At first it seems impossible, but over time, his mouth begins to take the pace. His pronunciation improves. His mind gets used to the structure of the language. You start thinking about English. And yes, it takes time. But it is possible. It's real. It has happened with thousands of people. It can happen to you. Remember when you were a child. No one taught you grammar of Portuguese before you speak your first words. You heard, watched. I tried, wrong, learned. And suddenly I was speaking whole sentences naturally. The same can happen now. It doesn't matter if you are 15, 35, or 60 years. The human brain never loses the ability to learn a new language, but it needs repetition, emotion, and meaning. Therefore, listening to stories in English, listening to phrases with emotion, connecting with real voices, is much more powerful than just reading cold grammar rules. And do you know what else can accelerate your process? Relate English to your life. Listen to content that interests you. Do you like cooking? Listen to recipe videos in English. Loves movies? Watch with original audio and caption in English. Do you like overcoming stories? There are hundreds of motivational podcasts in English waiting for you. When you hear something that touches your soul, it gets records, becomes part of you. What's more, don't expect to understand everything. Fluency is not knowing all words. It is knowing how to communicate. It is understanding the general meaning. It is being able to answer with what you know. And the practice of hearing teaches you this: how to absorb the whole, to capture the context, to predict meaning. So if you feel you are stuck, you study but do not advance. Breathe. You are not alone. Thousands of people have been in this place. But today, they are fluent because they made a decision: not give up. Keep listening, even without understanding everything. Keep trying, even if you make a mistake. Keep walking, even slowly. And now it's your turn. You already have everything you need: attentive ears, desire to learn, and this video as a guide. So enjoy. Listen to the end. Rewrite if necessary. Repeats together. Mimics. It is part of the game. Every minute you listen to English with intention, your brain changes. Your ear thucks. Your trust grows. With every sentence you repeat with courage, you break an invisible wall until the day it flows. And that day, you will remember exactly the moment you chose not to give up. You will remember that it started listening, trying, stumbled, and today, you speak. Now let me tell you something that maybe no one has ever said. With all the letters, fluency is a natural consequence of those who insist. And when I say insist, it's not studying without stopping until exhaustion. It is keeping the pace. It is keeping listening, even on days when you seem you have learned anything. Because yes, these days there is also learning. Look at the case of Michael, a delivery driver from Houston. He worked all day listening to English music on the radio. At first, he just liked the rhythm. But one day he began to pay attention to the words. Then he exchanged the songs for podcasts. At night, when he got home, he was watching an episode of an American series with original audio and English subtitles. All very simple, nothing forced. But he did it for months every day. And do you know what happened? A Canadian customer asked for help with an address, and he answered, in English, naturally, without locking, without fear. And here comes that question. But how do I know I'm evolving if I don't understand everything yet? The answer is, you realize in the details. When you start recognizing words without having to translate. When you understand the tone of the conversation, even without knowing each term. When a sentence thrills you in another language. This is growth. This is transformation. A lot of people want quick results, want to master English in a month. But the truth is that fluency is like a tree. You plant the seed, water every day, and it grows inside the earth before it appears. On the outside, it seems that nothing is changing. But inside, the roots are getting strong. And that is why listening every day is so powerful, because you are watering your roots. It is creating a firm, deep base that sustains everything that will come later. Conversation, reading, writing. Listening comes first, always. And now think to me, what is preventing you from taking this step? Is it the fear of not understanding? Does frustration for not being fast enough? Or maybe the comparison with other people? If so, let me tell you a liberating truth. Each one has his time, and your time is the right time. Do not compare with that friend who learned in 6 months. Maybe he already spoke another language. Maybe he had more free time, and that's fine. You are on your journey, and she is unique. Remember Emily I mentioned there at the beginning? She took 2 years to feel safe in a conversation. 2 years. And do you know what kept her firm? The love for the process. The certainty that every episode she listened to, every story she heard was feeding her dream. So my advice is, fall in love with the journey. Make the practice of listening to English part of your day. How to brush your teeth, how to have a coffee. Without drama, no wait. Just do it. And one more thing, transform English into something emotional. because the brain learns much more when there is emotion involved. If a podcast inspires you, listen again. If a song thrills you, sing together. If a series holds you, watch carefully. This emotional connection accelerates learning. And you know why? Because you are not just listening to sounds, is living the language, is associating feelings with words, and that is recorded in your mind in a deep way. You can, for example, create a playlist with powerful phrases in English, phrases that motivate you, that make you feel something, and listen every day like a mantra. Things like, I believe in myself, I am learning every day, I am getting better, step by step. Simple but emotional impact phrases. And if you want to speed up, use the mirror. Yes, the mirror. Speak in English with yourself. Repeat phrases you heard. React to them. Play with the words. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Wrong proudly, because making mistakes is a sign of who is trying. And when to feel that the motivation is falling, come back here. Listen to this video again. Listen to others. Fill your ears with good words, good sounds, good stimuli. Repetition builds fluency. Persistence builds confidence. And the constant hearing builds the instinct of the language. Now let me give you some practical ideas to apply today. When you wake up, choose a short video in English and listen before anything else. This activates your brain to the English language early in the morning. During the day, enjoy the dead moments, on the bus, washing dishes, bathing, to hear audios in English. Choose topics you like, which make sense for your life. This will maintain interest. At night, before bed, put a calm audio in English. It can be a tale, a soft story. Let your brain rest with the language. During sleep, he will consolidate everything he heard. And if you want to go even deeper, I recorded yourself the phrases you heard yourself, and then listen to your own voice. This helps to reinforce hearing memory and improves its pronunciation. And of course, don't forget to celebrate every little victory, every sentence you understand, every word you recognized, every moment you felt that you are evolving. Because it is these details that build the truth of truth. You don't have to be perfect. It needs to be constant. It needs to be brave. You need to believe you can, because you can. Today, now, you are taking a step that many do not have the courage to take. You are listening with an open heart. Is seeking to improve? It is believing that it is possible to break the fluency barrier. And that's all you need to get there. If you have gotten here, I want you to know, you are already ahead of the majority. Because the true transformation begins when you decide to stay until the end, when you don't give up halfway, when you say to yourself, this time, I'll go to the end. Today, you not only heard about fluency, you lived a real experience, connected with stories, felt emotions, reflected on your own journey. And this is already reprogramming your brain, planting seeds of self-confidence, courage, and perseverance. Remember Emily? From Michael? From the story that seemed so far away at the beginning? Yeah, now she's not that far away, because you started to walk the same path. You understand that fluency is not an exclusive talent. It is a daily practice. You realize that listening to English every day is much more than a technical exercise. It is a commitment to your future. Then I invite you with open heart, start today. Choose an audio, a song, a story, listen with presence. Let the language touch your heart, and then repeat. Make this a habit. Do not expect the ideal moment. Don't expect to understand everything. Start even without understanding. The understanding will come, because it always comes. Fluency is a destination, but what takes you there is today's step. And if I can give you a final tip, be kind to yourself. No perfection is covered. Celebrate progress, even if it sounds small, even if it's just understanding a sentence. This is already giant. Before closing, I want to make a special request. Subscribe to the channel. Here, we walk together. Every week, there are new episodes, new stories, new tools to help you conquer English once and for all. And if this message touched you in any way, leave a comment below. Tell me how you are feeling. Tell me what motivates you. I want to hear you. And if you can, share this video with someone who is also trying to learn English, someone who may be about to give up. This message may come at the right time and change the course of that person's walk. You are capable. You are ready. And you deserve to live the freedom to speak English with confidence. Believe it. And always remember, breaking the fluency barrier begins with a simple decision, listening with an open heart and not stopping. Thank you for being here. May God bless your journey. And we see each other in the next video.